Welcome students. I Punjika Rathi, Assistant Professor, IMS Engineering College, Ghaziabad. I will be talking about a very important topic, that is technical analysis, which is of prime importance to the investors, to the portfolio managers. So, let us start. Technical analysis, as the name suggests, here the investor would be analyzing, or the analyst is analyzing the stock price behavior, how the stocks are moving or how they have moved in the past. So, technical analysis, it is a method of evaluating or analyzing the securities in order to formulate buying and selling strategies. As we have about the fundamental analysis. So, fundamental analysis it's an approach where the investor analyze the economy related factors, the fundamentals affecting the security, and then find out the worth of the security. But here in technical analysis, the analyst is focusing only on the historical or the past prices and the volume relationships to predict the future price behavior and the future behavior of the stock market or maybe the stock price. So, in this, the analyst analyze the historical price volume relationships to predict the future stock prices and to formulate the buying and selling strategies for the future. And yes, it is based on the assumptions. So, here the technical analyst assumes that the market discounts everything. Market discounts everything means that the stock market reflect all the factors, the fundamental as well as the emotional or the psychological factors which are affecting the stock market. So, stock prices are moving in the same direction, as we say, like if there are positive factors in the economy, so the stock prices would be moving upwards. But in the opposite sense, if we say if there are negatives in the market, so the stock prices would be falling down. So, it is the stock behavior, or it is the stock market where the impact of all the factors is being visible. So, technical analyst assumes, like if there is the stock market is reflecting all the factors, so why not to study the stock prices behavior or to study the historical prices or the volume relationships. Then the second assumption is that the price moves in trends. So, in the stock market, the prices are not moving randomly, they are moving in some trends. So, there can be trends of rising prices, there can be trends of falling prices, or there can be a flat trend, but these trends would indicate some chart patterns which are of importance to the analyst to analyze the stock prices. The third assumption is that the history tends to repeat itself. The technical analyst believes that whatever the historical price volume relationships, if they have indicated some patterns, so those patterns would be having similar meaning in the future as well. So, if we see the present scenario, in these present scenario, if some chart patterns are again visible, so they would be indicating the same thing to the technical analyst. So, that is why he is only focusing on the historical relationships to predict the future behavior. Dow theory is the basis of the technical analysis. If we say the history of technical analysis depends on the works which has been given by Charles H. Dow in 1884. In the series of articles, he has explained the movement of indices of Dow Jones average. So, this is the basis of the technical analysis. Dow has given various interpretations on analyzing this Dow industrial averages, and he has said that the market moves in trends. The market does not move randomly, there is no random behavior, but yes, market is moving in some trends, which means that the stock prices they move upward, then there is some counter wave, so then they again move upwards. So, there is a zigzag kind of pattern in the stock prices behavior. according to Dow, he has said that the trend of the market or the direction of movement of the stock prices is having three kind of movements. Movement number 1 is called as the primary movement. It is the long term movement which takes the entire market up and down. So, this primary movement is the long term movement and it reflects the main term of the stock prices or the stock market. So, it can be in the it can be rising or it can be falling. So, it can be uptrend or it can be a downtrend. This movement is visible for a longer period of time, say for 1 year or greater than 1 year. The second type of movement is the secondary movement, where the movement is opposite to the primary movement. It means whatever the movement of the primary, whatever the direction of primary movement, the secondary movement would be moving opposite to it. We can say it is a restraining force, which is a counter force. It is opposite to the primary movement. So, if it is rising, it would be falling, and this movement would retracing this primary movement by at least 33% or up to 66%. So, it is correcting the primary movement. That is why secondary movement is also called as corrections. Then third type of movement is the minor movement. Minor movement means day to day fluctuations. If we see the prices of a stock in a day, when the market opens and when the market closes in a day, the stock prices moves large number of times. Sometimes it moves to the highest level, then at the closing of the day it reaches to some another level. So, there are fluctuations in a day. So, those fluctuations in a day are called as the minor movements, and these movements have no analytical value. That is why we ignore these kinds of movements, and the technical analyst is focusing only on primary movement and the secondary movement. So, Dow has taken or he has analyzed the primary movement and secondary movement in detail. This Dow theory was based on the assumptions. The assumption number 1 was that primary trend cannot be manipulated. It means no single investor, like if I am an investor and I want to change the direction of movement of the market. So, my action cannot impact the whole market. The sum of the investors, the whole market demand and market supply can only change it. Then second assumption is that the averages discount everything. It means the stock prices reflect every factor. It means the stock market is reflecting all the fundamental as well as the psychological factors which are present in the mind of the investor or in the economy. Then the third assumption is theory is not infallible. It means that this theory is not calculating any intrinsic value of the stock, but yes, this is a tool which is being used by the investor for investment. So, it is opposite to the fundamental analysis, where we used to calculate the intrinsic value, but here we cannot calculate the intrinsic value, but yes, we can say it is the time to buy or it is the time to sell. So, the timing decisions are basically based on this work of Charles H. Dow in the form of a theory called as Dow theory. Then this theory has given us one prominent thing, like how to find out the trend, what is the trend of the market. So, trend means the direction of movement or the direction in which the stock prices or the security market is moving. So, every fall or rise in share price is accompanied by a counter wave. So, trend is like if we take the closing prices in a So, trend is not a straight line, it is moving in a zigzag manner, which we have discussed, and this how the trend is formed or how we analyze the trend. What we do, we chart the closing prices of the stock on a xy axis, and then we join the tops or the bottoms of these closing prices to find out in which direction the line is being extrapolated. If it is rising, we will say it is a uptrend, if it is falling, we will say it is a downtrend. Let us see how it works. So, there are three kinds of trends on the basis of this analysis. One is uptrend, downtrend and a flat trend. If we see in this diagram what is happening, what we have done, we have taken the closing prices of a stock on the xy axis. Here we are taking the time, and here we are taking the price. So, when we have plotted the price on this xy chart. So, these prices, so when we join the lines, when we join the tops or the bottoms, so what we see, this line is rising upwards, it means the prices are rising. So, it means there is uptrend in the market. Similarly, if we join these tops, what we see, this is a line which is saying that the prices are stable. So, that is why it is called as the flat trend. Similarly, if we see in this third wala जो हमारा chart है, so if we see the line is falling downwards, it means the prices are falling downwards. So, it is indicating the downtrend. So, now we know that there are basically three trends, and one is called as the bullish trend or the bullish market, bearish market and the flat trend, where the prices are not rising or not falling, or they are moving in a range. So, we can say now as an investor we should stay away from the market, because after this range maybe the prices would be rising or the prices would be falling. Dow has said that there are three phases in primary trend. He has said that there are three phases in each primary trend. Up to now what we know, he has said that there are three kinds of movements. What are the three movements? Primary, secondary and minor. Okay. But we are ignoring minor movement. So, we are focusing on the primary movement and the secondary movement. Primary movement is the trend direction, it is maybe it is bullish or maybe it is bearish. So, Dow has said that this primary trend is again made up of three phases. So, if we analyze each trend, bullish trend and bearish trend individually, what we see, that bullish trend has three clear cut peaks. It means there are three phases in the bullish trend. What are the three phases? Revival, improvement of profits and the speculation. Revival, see what happens when the investor has hope, he thinks that if I purchase this stock, so maybe in future the prices would increase and I will get the profit when I sell it. So, there is some revival in the market, there is some hope in the market, and some investors they buy the share. Then what happens? The demand will increase. When the demand will increase, the share prices will also increase. Okay. then due to this increase in the demand of the shares, what will happen? The corporate earnings will improve, and due to this improve in the earnings, the demand will increase further. And since the stock price, the prices are rising, the profits are rising, so people will be again demanding this kind of stock, and there will be speculation in the market. People will speculate that the peak would be higher, and they would be purchasing this stock in the anticipation of future profits. So, what happens? There becomes three phases of the bullish trend: revival, improvement, and the speculation. Similarly, if there is bearish trend, there would be three bottoms. These three bottoms would be the three phases, and each bottom would be lower than the previous one. So, there are three phases. Again there are three phases. Phase number 1, there is loss of hope, there is recession in business, and there will be distress selling. Okay, let us see how it looks. In the next slide, we will be discussing these three phases in detail, but then secondary movement, I have already said that these are the oscillations or these are the corrections which are the counter moves which are correcting the overbought and oversold conditions in the market. So, they are opposite to the direction of the primary trend. In the bullish trend, what will be the, if I ask you, in the bullish trend, what is the direction of movement of secondary movement? It will be falling in the bullish trend. Then if I ask, what is the direction in case of bearish trend? It will be rising. It will be rising in case of bearish. Okay. So, whatever the direction of primary, secondary would be opposite to it. It gives us breathing space or to correct it, that is I said as correction or oscillations. So, this we were talking in the previous slide that there are three phases in the bull market and the bear market, and these are the three phases. There is hope, there is increase in the corporate earnings, and there is the speculation. So, the prices are rising, but yes, there are secondary movements which are opposing the direction of the primary movement, and these are taking the primary movement down by 33 to 63%. So, they are retracing, the secondary movement is retracing the primary movement by 33 to 66%. And similarly, in the bearish market, there are again three phases 1, 2 and 3. So, how the phase number 1 happens? Here there are some investors who will think that there would not be a further peak, and now I should start selling my share. So, what he do? He will sell. So, here the selling will start, and when the selling will start, what will happen? The supply will increase or the demand will decrease. So, the prices will fall. So, when the prices will fall, in the second phase there will be the loss in earnings, or there is recession in the market. So, due to recession there will be lower profits of the business. So, again the prices would be falling, as we see in this graph. Then after the recession there will be distress selling. Distress selling means now everybody would be selling his or her shares, because they would be assuming that after this we will not be able to earn anything. So, that is why the stock prices would be falling. So, this is the direction of the primary movement. So, these are the secondary movement. Then we have another important thing to discuss, support and resistance level. This is again a tool which is used by technical analyst. As we say support, what is support? Support is something which is giving a position to hold something. Like if we say the prices are falling, but there is a level which is keeping the prices at a level, and whenever the prices are falling they bounces back. So, what happens is support is when price is falling, but bounces back when reaches a level. So, it is the level where there is sufficient demand, there is some buying pressure which is halting the further fall in the prices. So, that is why it is called as the support level. Then resistance, resistance मतलब रोक रहा है. So, it means the prices are rising, but there is some level which is bouncing it back, which is restricting it. So, it is saying that you cannot move further. So, there is some level. So, always resistance level is the upper level and support level is the lower level. So, why it is restricting? Because there is enough selling pressure which is not leading the prices to rise further. Now, if we see how it looks, these are the stock prices. These are the stock prices, and the prices reaches to a level, then bounces back. Prices reaches to a level, then bounces back. This becomes the support level and the resistance level. If someday the price violates this resistance support level, if someday the price halt this support level, what will happen? There will be the indication of trend reversal. So, trend would reverse, and if someday the prices violate the resistance level, here will be the indication of the trend reversal. There will be some signal indicated at that point of time. So, that is why it is very important to know what is the support level and the resistance level and how they behaves. Then charting, yes, very important for the technical analyst. Technical analyst always uses various kinds of charts and the chart patterns. If we say what is chart? Chart is a graphical representation of the data. What kind of data we have? We have the stock prices. So, we have the stock prices like opening price, closing price, highest price, lowest price. So, it depends what kind of chart we are using and what kind of price we are using. So, on the basis of it, there are three basic kinds of charts which are used by the technical analyst. These are the kinds of the charts. If we see in the diagram, in the line chart, we have taken only the closing prices. The closing prices are indicated by the dots in the diagram, and when we join the dots, it becomes a line. That is why it is called as a line chart, which is very easy, simplest to draw. Then second type of chart is the bar chart. In the bar chart, what we have taken? We have taken all the prices. What we have done? We have taken the low price, we have taken the high price, and then we have joined the low and the high price by a bar in the form of a bar, and the closing price is indicated by a dash in the right hand side and the opening price by a dash or hash in the left hand side. So, here it has become a bar, that is why this is called as a bar chart. Then the third prominent is the candlestick chart. Candlestick chart was given by, so candlestick chart, in the Japanese candlestick chart, the prices are depicted in the form of the candles. If we see in this diagram, there the prices are depicted in the form of the candle. This is the body of the candle and this is the stick of the candle. That is why it is called as the candlestick chart. In the candlestick chart, what we have done? We have taken the high price, the low price, opening price and the closing price. So, this candlestick chart is of two types. It is white or it is black. When it is white, when the closing price is greater than the opening price. So, if I ask you when there will be white candles in the case of bullish trend, and if I ask you when there will be the black candles, what is black candle? When the opening price is higher than the closing price. So, it means there is some bearish kind of trend in the market. So, this is how technical analysts use these charts, and these charts indicate some patterns, and these patterns indicate some signal to the analyst, like buy signal or the sell signal. So, let us go further to the charts. We have divided these chart patterns into two categories, the reversal patterns and the continuation patterns. The reversal patterns are those patterns which are formed when the trend is going to change the direction. Earlier it was rising and now it is falling, or earlier it was falling, now it is rising. So, we are saying the trend is going to reverse. So, it will indicate some signal to the investor. Then the trend continuation patterns, these patterns will be formed during the trend. It means when these patterns will be formed, the earlier trend would continue to remain in the market. So, if a pattern is formed in a rising trend, so they will indicate that the rising trend, uptrend would continue, or if a pattern is formed during the bearish market would be there. These patterns should also be analyzed with respect to the volume of trade. Reversal patterns will be there with the huge volume of trade, and continuation patterns are formed with the low volume of trade. This the investor should remember while analyzing these chart patterns. What is the use? Yes, they are used by the investor to buy or to indicate the buy or sell signal. So, let us discuss these patterns in detail. Trend reversal patterns. There are head and shoulder formation, inverted head and shoulder formation, double top formation and double bottom formation in the case of the trend reversal. And in the case of trend reversal patterns, if we see head and shoulder formation, this is the head and shoulder formation, and this is the inverted head and shoulder formation. The prices are rising and then they reaches a peak and then they are falling. The second peak is higher than the first one and third peak is at the same level. So, it means this is equal to left shoulder, this is right shoulder and this is the head, and the bottoms, if we join the bottoms they become the neckline. This pattern is formed during the bullish phase. So, if this pattern is formed, it would indicate that if the right shoulder violates this neckline by and the prices fall by more than 5%, that it indicates that there is trend reversal from bullish to bearish. So, it will be indicating some sell signal. Similarly, inverted head and shoulder, this is left shoulder, head and right shoulder and this is the neckline. If price violates this line by more than 5%, so this will indicate that there is buy signal. And why there is buy signal? Because this inverted head and shoulder formation is formed during the bearish phase. So, it will be indicating that there is a trend reversal from bearish to bullish. Let us move to further double top formation. It means there are two tops of the same height. If we see this is the support level. If the prices are violating the support level and fall by more than 5%, so it is indicating the trend reversal. This double top would be formed in the bullish phase and it will be indicating here the sell signal is indicated. Similarly, the double bottom formation, there are two peaks of the same height, and if the prices violate the resistance level by more than 5%, so it indicates that this trend would reverse, and this is formed during the bearish phase. So, it is indicating that there is the trend reversal from bearish to bullish. So, the investor should buy. So, this is how the patterns are analyzed by the investor. Students, then there are the trend continuation patterns. These patterns indicate that the trend would be continuing, it will remain same. These patterns formation is giving an indication that the investor should hold on the strategy whether he is buying or he is selling. So, there are again some types of the chart patterns. One is the triangle formation, second is the rounding bottom and rounding tops. So, what is the triangle formation? Triangle, if we say triangle means then when there are ascending or descending bottoms. So, this will lead to a triangle. If we see the bottoms are rising, so this is a ascending triangle. If the tops are falling, this is a descending triangle. So, the ascending triangles are formed during the bullish phase and the descending triangles are formed during the bearish phase. What they are indicating? They are indicating that the trend would remain same. The prices are they are fluctuating, but after the formation they will be in the rising phase and similarly in the bearish phase. If there are symmetrical triangles, that also indicate the trend continuation. These symmetrical triangles can be formed either in the bullish phase or in the bearish phase, but they are indicating what? They are indicating the continuation. Then there are rounding bottom and rounding tops. When we are saying rounding bottom, it means the prices are falling and this some round has been formed and they are again rising. Similarly, when prices are rising, but then there is a kind of peak, but not a steep peak, and then they are falling. So, this has led to a rounding top. When the rounding bottom is formed? Rounding bottom is formed in the bullish phase and rounding top is formed in the bearish phase, in the bearish market. What is it indicating? It is indicating the bullish phase and it is indicating the bearish phase. So, accordingly the investor can take decision, can indicate some signal for him or herself. There are some more continuation patterns, like if there is some, if the prices are moving in a range, like if the prices are moving in this way. So, this is a kind of the flag or a parallelogram. So, this is also indicating that the trend would continue. Similarly, there are this is called as the flag formation. Then there are some channels. So, if channels are formed, that is also indicating the continuation. So, there are various kinds of the continuation patterns which can be analyzed by the investor to take buy and sell decision. So, this is all about today's lecture. Let us hope for the best. All the best. Thank you.